All right, this part of Busan. Usually, I remember when Kiri Wuyang were meta, Tracer Wuyang generally try to rotate through this room because if you're running like an Ana, your Ana can kind of play through here if you want to Ana Brig or Ana Wuyang or something like that. And this is a lot of a good sidelines for Ana. Sometimes Symmetras or like teams will take a Symmetra TP and they'll place their Ana up here. I mean, obviously, like Ashes and Widows are also great up here. This is just a default hit scan lineup. If we're gonna run like a Winston or a Diva, a lot of Winstons like to set up on this high ground because they can DP pretty much everything, and they have their next engage either onto if the backline set up here or if they decided to set up here. Point side, I'm trying to think. Are any fights breaking up point side? I mean, I'm not sure who would rotate to point side because hit scans don't have great angles onto anything over here, and this is kind of an open space for like a Tracer or Genji. So most teams will do these rollouts to get like a Winston here, or like Tracer Wuyan fighting under here, or like a backline set up either here or here, and the fight will proceed from there. And so we try to coordinate some kind of dive onto a backline either here or here. And from there, whoever wins the fight will go and cap point after. If a team tries to force point, like maybe it's a Reinhardt comp, but a Reinhardt comp I think be terrible in this point of Busan. I mean, you basically get to set up. You can set up here for free. You can set up on this or this high ground for free. I don't know how great. Yeah, your visuals are okay. And then you can also, if they're just going to abandon this high ground, like you basically just like full force it. You can even take this high ground from them too eventually. So if a team tries to force point, I mean, it's going to be a really bad strategy on this map specifically. And then after you win first fight, usually like Winston's or Hazards or Divas will be up here kind of poking away, watching walk up. You know, they're going to try to do the same thing. They're going to try to rotate through left. They're going to try to rotate through room. Sometimes teams will force a point rotation because if you have your hit scan set up in a dangerous spot or it's like a Widow all the way in the back, then Widows, if there's a Widow, most teams generally don't want to even try to rotate through here. And so if there's like a Widow or an Ash set up and they want to avoid them entirely, they'll try this rotation all the way around to point side. Um, if you've won the fight, however, say like a Tracer can pinch from right and a Winston can drop on backline from right, that's pretty good, but you'll be in alone because you're cut off from the LOS of your hit scans. But you can also just flip and rotate and set up from these high grounds for your next hit when they do try to force point. And that's for this map of Busan. I don't know. Let me see if I can figure out how to. I want to go to the different sub maps. How can I go to the different Busan sub maps? Night morning overcast. That doesn't help me. I want to go to the different Busan. Do I have to like go? Are they like somewhere? That doesn't make sense. No, they're like separate maps. No? Unless is that? That doesn't make sense. Maybe it is. Do I have to go all the way over there? No, I can't go that far. Where are the other maps? Where are the other maps? I might just cut this last part if I can't figure it out. Huh, how do you get the different sub maps? That'd be just random if I restart it. Night, morning, overcast. That's not really what I want. Somebody here. Paul. Paul. Paul, if you know how to go to the different control submaps, that would be appreciated. I'm trying to get to the different Busan ones, but I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, no, it doesn't do anything.
Initiating match.
I don't know what I'm doing. would you? Is it mode? Control. Oh, what's this? Oh.
Ready for battle.
Tonight, none would show even their own.
I have to figure this out. Spectator option. I want to go to the different. Oh, okay. I did something. Okay. I will have to cut out some of that. Anyways, so most teams push through this high ground, obviously very important. And this high ground, this space is kind of difficult to fight for. We've seen Zarya Reaper comes a lot. I don't know why it's doing that. And so the tanks usually are kind of stuck either fighting on this piece of cover or this piece of cover. You'll see a lot of tracers roll out this way because trying to roll out the other side is so long, and as a tracer, that walk up gets shot out pretty quickly. So, anyways, this fight usually breaks out into if it's like kind of a brawly mirror, it's just who manages their tank cooldowns better. If it's a Winston Kiri Wuyong, you can Kiri Wuyong on this one too, because like this space like there's only one like close range space on the map and it's just not very useful for like a Lucio. Like you're not going to be fighting in here. Most of the fights are happening on this space between tanks and either like Reaper, because Reaper can get on with the Zarya bubble. I don't know. Fix that. Hey, let me just pause. Can I pause? Not. Whatever. So tracers will be rolling out this side. You know, tankers will be trying to hold mid, trying to stop them from walking up. Maybe we run Tracer Reaper. Maybe it depends on the meta and whatnot. Your hit scans, if you have like a Sojourn or something, will generally play from back here and try to spam down this lane. Well, yeah, because the Tracer's on other lanes. So Sojourn has usually line of sight on tank. If our hit scans want, you can hurry and try to make this rotation. And this is great for a lot of Ashes, a lot of Sojourns, sometimes Freya. Freya can play around these parts right here. And so, yeah, so most of the fights break out here. It's why Kiri Wuyong is kind of played a lot on this map because these sight lines are not that short, and Lucio just kind of struggles a little bit. You can still Lucio, obviously. You can also throw Ana into the mix here. You can probably BAP if you want to run a real brawly mirror. But Kiri Wuyong get played a lot here because of just these are the lanes that like are overlooking point, and you almost like touching point here is kind of a death trap, like it was in the last control. You really only want like maybe your tank has to drop if it's like being forced on you, or like a tracer or Genji touches, but it's something that you're just going to get shot at from all the different high grounds. So controlling the high grounds first is probably the most important thing. Now let's see if I can figure out. And then, oh, so you win the fight, you want to hold one of these chokes. Generally, this choke is pretty nasty. You're gonna have like spam from like maybe a hit scan slides up on top here or something. Your tank's holding close. You have an off angle here, off angle left. Like it's pretty difficult to get through. And so what we need to do if you ever stuck any chance where you need to retake, you can't really like 5-man through here unless you have an ultimate. So an ultimate can get you through this choke, but you kind of want to use your ultimate point. So probably we need to think about stuff like sending either a hit scan or a Genji up here to like take some pressure away from choke. Or we rotate a Tracer Kiri or Tracer Wuyong or Tracer Lucio through here. Push out anyone on this high ground if they're there, or they just pinch from here and they allow us to walk through the choke for free. So stuff like that helps you get through because this choke right here is pretty nasty, and most teams are going to try and forward hold it. So you just have to keep in mind that high ground, this one, and if you're desperate, you could send like your tracer underneath the touch point to like really pull them away. But that's pretty much it for this Busan, and then the last Busan is also pretty interesting. So let me see if I can get to that. Not Dorado. I should have ended the game. Busan. It's fine. And then I think it was this. Turned out this one. Why are there 4? What the frick? I don't know why there are 4. Let's see. No, that's the wrong one. Unless it's not. Unless these don't change. Turn this one. That's Ilias with it. Wait, what? How did that happen? I had Busan. None. Busan. Morning. It's fine. Modes. I don't think. No. Oh, I did even put me in spectator. Wait, what? This is so weird. It took me to Mecha Base. I don't know how to. Here, let me take a break. Yeah, let me end the recording. Let me figure out how to get it there.